I need to give you an update on my fish. And now this is going to be emotional. And I feel like a dreadful human being. Basically, this is my tank. And you might notice some changes. The first change is, it's got a real plant in there instead of a shitty plastic one. The second change is, Barrow and Rupert are nowhere to be seen. And that is because they died a terrible death. I mean, it was unexpected, I would say. Like, Barrow always seemed happy. Rupert always seemed a bit moody. He was just like flopping about a little bit in the corner. So I almost expected Rupert to die. And when I woke up the next day and saw Rupert just like lying on his side in the bush, I thought, yeah, he doesn't look very well. So I got my fish straw and I just popped him, and that's when he just floated to the top. And I was like, Rupert, for God's sake, why? You've only been alive for 3 days. So I looked online, and I'm not being a terrible person. I mean, I put a filter in there and I left it for a few days, and I put in that syrup that takes out all the acidic water shit. But anyway, a few hours later, Barrow decides to go right under the filter, and like, he's just looking up at it, and I'm like, is he like drinking straight out of the filter? So I get my fish straw again, I tap him, and then it turns out he just floated to the top as well. I was like, what the fuck, Barrow died as well? I love Barrow, he's my favourite rapper, how could he just die like that? So I left it for a few days. I was distraught. I couldn't look at fish in the same way. Also, just as a thingy, you know, I've been cutting back on my meat intake, obviously, but I've completely stopped eating fish because I was like, I can't own a fish and eat fish. What kind of person does that? So let's fast forward a few days. I left my tank a bit longer. I was thinking of what could be wrong, so I put in the real plant because I thought maybe there's not enough oxygen in there, and I put in a bit more of that water stuff that takes out, I mean, I put the right amount in, but I thought maybe I'll put in a bit more because maybe my water is just more toxic. So I left it for a few days, and then I went skipping down to the pet shop, and I was like, I'm ready to move on, I'm ready to buy 2 new fish. And she was like, hey, you're that guy, how are your other fish doing? I was like, don't go there. I didn't say it like that, I was just like, actually they're dead. And she was like, oh, that's terrible, like, I'll give you one free because maybe we had a bad batch or something. I was like, I like you. So I picked up a gold one and a black one. Rupert I never really liked because he was moody, so I called the new white one Top after Big Bang's mega deep voice rapper, and I called the black one Barrow 2. Lo and behold, like 6 hours later they're both dead, and I'm like, what the fuck? Have I got a cursed tank or something? Is my tank on top of an Indian burial ground? I mean, not as far as I know, but I might have to look into it. Anyway, I went online again, and I was like, it must be the pH levels, it must be. Oh, I felt like Michael Scott Paper Company, where he has a new fish on every scene. That's exactly what I feel like a fish murderer. I am a killer. Anyway, calm down. I looked online and it said some water is so, like, treated so much that even after you put in the goop and you've got a filter, it can still be a bit lame. So I got some pH sticks, and sure enough, even after all the filtering and all the plants and all the goop, it's still like 1.0 over what it should be. So I'm not going to get any more fish until I can fix that pH, man. It's just Talford water, isn't it? They're like, Talford is such a shithole that when it goes through these pipes, it's going to be really contaminated. So we just have to put all the chlorine in this fucking water that we can. So yeah, I'm going to leave it for at least 2 weeks, and then I'm going to pH stick the fuck out of it. And then when it finally gets down to the right level, I'm going to go out and buy Barrow 3 and another new fish. But yeah, those are my fish stories. You are now talking to a serial killer.
Where's Buddy? Buddy? My fish, Buddy. There was no fish when she dropped it off. Oh, this is unbelievable. I mean, first you sleep with my ex-girlfriend, then you insult my intelligence by lying about it, and then you kill my fish, my buddy. Hey, I didn't kill your fish. Look, Eddie. Would you look at what I'm doing here?
So I was watching this movie. It was like a documentary about a guy who claims to have been abducted by aliens at least 5 times. And it's a documentary that was 16 years in the making. Like, he started recording alien stuff in the year 2000. and it came out last year. But it's a straight to Netflix film, so instantly you're like, this is not going to be the most high class thing. But it was, I think I sent you some Snapchats. I might have, I might not. I remember I definitely recorded some Snapchats to send to you, but then I wasn't sure if I should because I thought it would scare you. Like, some of the scenes were harrowing, man. Like, he had it set up at the window like that, and then let's say this camera is the window. The alien was just like, and he was like, holy shit, did you see that? The alien's looking into my house, what? Yeah, but that was the only kind of believable part of the film. Like, when that bit happened, I called Mom in and I was like, you have to see this, look at this. And she was like, oh my god, that's clearly just a rubber dummy. I was like, shut up. It might be rubber, it might be real, you don't know. But then as the film went on, it just got worse and worse. I mean, it was fucking ridiculous. Like, his Photoshop skills are like, name redacted, but you know who I mean. Because there's some horror film, yeah, where I think it's The Grudge maybe, and they look back at their family photos, and in every one you notice that that little ghost girl was in all of them. Well, he does that with himself, and there's little aliens in every picture he's ever taken, but some of them are so fucking badly photoshopped, it's unbelievable. And one, I am not kidding, was an alien garden gnome, and he was like, look, I was in the garden and an alien was there the whole time. I was like, it's clearly a garden gnome of an alien. How are you like, I couldn't tell near the end if he was joking or serious. I think he either had like a mental problem and people just gave him attention and was like, we're gonna make a film out of this, or he was bullshitting the whole time and he was like, oh, I'll make some cheap Netflix money. Like, it was so bad that I think you have to watch it one day. Like the good person I am at suggesting things, I can't remember what the name is, but look at my Netflix history and check it out and see what you think. It's a funny, like, it can be slightly scary, but it's so obviously completely fake that you can just get over it fairly quickly. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, Sugar Bean, I hope all is well with you. I miss you as always, and I imagine you are with me in spirit. Like, Molly to Ente, I can hear you in my head. That kind of thing. Even when I'm on the toilet. So, I don't know what I was going to say, but I was just going to have like a me and you together forever. I am so fucking gay. So, I got Nando to watch Pocket Monster 3. As in Pocket Monsters 3, as in Pokemon 3, as in Pokemon Entei, and I was like, yo, what do you think of this film? And he was like, Brock is hilarious. I was like, yes he is, Brock is the best guy ever. And I was like, what do you think of Entei? He was like, oh, he's okay, I prefer Suicune. And I was like, what? How can you prefer Suicune? He doesn't even fucking speak, he's just like, look at me with my wisps. I was like, Entei has a beautiful manly voice which echoes like a Pet Shop Boy. Not only that, but he has a cloud on his back. Not only that, but I mean, he can grant you any wish ever. And he was like, I guess he's pretty good. I thought, he's either just trying to move the topic on because he's like, oh, this guy is insane, or he actually, like, was brought round to it by my persuasion. I don't know. I just think anyone should really think that Entei is the best Pokemon. You know what I mean? I was like, this might tear us apart, actually. It's almost as bad as having polar opposite political views, you know? But, we worked our way through it, we're okay. We went to marriage counselling, and he was like, you know, Nando-san, you just gotta accept that Entei is the best Pokemon. And I was like, thank you, counsellor. Told you. And we're okay now, so there you go. Oh my god, so today, right, I got on the train to go to this interview. And it was a fairly normal train. There was chairs to sit on, which is actually pretty abnormal, so I sat myself down on a chair, and I was like, fuck, I do not have my earphones. And then about 2 minutes in, this elderly, like 40-ish-year-old woman got up and went to a chair behind me, and she was like, here's a tissue, and I want you to use it. And I was like, what the fuck? And the guy was like, what? And she was like, basically, we're all sick of hearing you sniff. and we're on a long journey here, so can you please use that tissue because it's disgusting. And he was like, what the fuck? Like, I've barely even been sniffing. She was like, well, I can hear it over there, and so can my friend, and you gotta use the tissue. You just gotta, it's unsanitary. And he was like, are you kidding me? I was like, oh my god. And I was like right in the middle of these, like I was there, and then he was behind me, and she was in front, and I was like, I don't have my fucking earphones, so I can't pretend that I don't know this is happening right now. And her friend like looked behind at me and gave me a face, and all I could do was like give her a kind of gym face, just like. So yeah, that happened, and then like she finally went back to her seat, and he was like, fuck's sake, man. And then she finally got up, and she was, oh come on, let's go to another carriage. And he was like, don't do it on my behalf, bitch. And I was like, oh my god, this is terrible. Like, am I expected to say anything here? But thankfully, like, it all calmed down. Like, he was simmering the whole time, but it calmed down because she fucked off. Like, as he went to get off the train, you could just feel his anger. He got up in such a huff, man. And he had brought like a bicycle on with him, and like the way he took it off, he was just like, oh, I can't do hand gestures very well on the phone, but let's say that this is his bike, and he was just like, oh for God's sake, and they like threw it off the bus, and I was like, my god, dude, there's people out there ready to get on the bus. But yeah, that was fun, which leads me to the question of, be you Miss Talford, man? I bet you don't get that kind of drama on a typical train where you are. Too many nice people, man. So yeah, right now I'm gonna edit this video for you, and maybe watch whatever's on Comedy Central, which is probably just Friends because they have nothing else. So bye.
Super kid.
どうしようどうしよう毛穴目立ってないかな
今度のレビューは毛穴の気になるこんな時でも
大丈夫スーパーキレイ Yeah
毛穴が消えてスーパーベタつかないレビュー BC カウンセリングの金棒から新発売
スーパーキレイ
の出来上がり